All right, trippers, so today we are headed back into a city we could probably visit like 1,000 times and still not see everything. It's a city of over 2 million people, many of whom probably haven't even come close to exploring all of their own hometown. Now, there are some very popular, well-traveled spots to this city, but we are not headed to those today as we explore the hidden side of Houston! This episode was made for y'all with the help of our awesome partners. Check the caption for more info. Houston, Texas likely requires no geography lesson, but here's one anyway. It sits on the coastal plains an hour from the beach. Its metro now covers an area bigger than Rhode Island, and it's still growing. Oh no! But amongst that growth, there's tons to see if you know where to look. You know, the word Creole often gets used to describe Houston, and it fits perfectly. You know, Creole food is kind of a mixing of all sorts of different cultures, and that's Houston in a big pot. You take all these good things, you throw it in, and you mix it up, like art, music, and food, and different cultures, diversity. Then there's business and industry. It's like one city with everything going on in it. You know, a lot of times when we're in a big city, I like to see it from up high, you know, find the tallest building and check out the city from a bird's eye view. But we're gonna get a little bit of a different view of Houston to kick off this day. All right, so here we are on the streets of downtown Houston, and you may be looking around wondering, well, where are all the people? I mean, for a city so big, these should be packed, right? Well, if you're looking on street level, you were looking in the wrong place, my friends. You see, to find the people, you have to go underground, to the city beneath the city. Downtown Houston is connected through this network of tunnels, and this, my friends, is where the people are. It's a whole nother world down here. And this is exactly the sort of thing that's hidden in plain sight, or rather, under plain sight. But there are restaurants, shops, dry cleaners, and jewelers. I mean, we've spent entire days in places with less to do. I'm usually pretty good with geography and knowing where I am. At this moment, I'm really not sure where I am. Thankfully, there are maps to make sense of this 6-mile labyrinth. I think I'm the star, but do I turn this way or this way? I don't know. I'll try this one. Eventually, we find actual daylight, so it's time to emerge and keep exploring. Now, to understand downtown Houston, you must understand how and where it was built. So to do that, you gotta travel to the end of Main Street to a place called Allen's Landing, the original port of Houston on Buffalo Bayou. Now, the western side of this waterway is very well developed, but we're heading in the opposite direction with a boat tour from the Buffalo Bayou Partnership and Andrew, our tour guide.
Houston was founded in 1836 by the Allen brothers. They were in their mid-20s from upstate New York and were looking to make their way in the world by selling a township. And this is the site that they hit upon.
Wow.
The whole idea was to found Houston as a river port. Think of New Orleans and the riverboats. That's how Houston was in its early days. It was a riverboat town.
So things would have come all the way up through Galveston Bay, up this bayou, all the way to downtown?
Yes.
So ship after ship, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you wouldn't know it today, but this eastern bayou used to be filled with factories, mills, and loading docks. However, when the modern port of Houston opened up downriver in 1914, well, boat traffic in this part of the bayou began to dwindle, leaving behind just a few operations. Piles and piles of scrap metal that'll be recycled and repurposed. Look at it. It's not the kind of hills you want to go and climb. You might need to be updated on your tetanus shot to go and play on that hill. And as we drift further and further downstream, well, the bustle of downtown fades behind us, and it feels sort of like we're on our own in a different world.
You notice the environment's changing very dramatically just before downtown on the west side. The banks get considerably higher. These are some of the highest banks on Buffalo Bayou.
These banks not only hide the city, but also protect it from bayou flooding.
This is a highly active floodplain, but what really causes the flooding is tropical storms.
Oh, okay.
They will sit out in the Gulf, just off the coast, suck up large amounts of water, come inland, dump it, go back
Something Houston learned again as this bayou hit new record highs during Hurricane Harvey. But it's just so unexpected to find something so natural and wild so close to downtown.
Houstonians are rediscovering this bayou. And now the wonderful thing is this next 7 miles on either side of the bayou is going to become hiking, bike trail and green space within the next few years.
So we come back in 10 years, this is going to look completely different.
This is an environment right on the cusp of change.
You know, overall, it's just the view from the water that makes this trip so cool. And you'll see things that aren't visible any other way, like this 100-year-old railroad drawbridge and an old crypt. That hole right there goes to a crypt?
Yes, that's where the Donovan family were buried for many years, and it was literally absorbed into the urban infrastructure of downtown Houston in the mid-1920s.
Ugh, a city built on top of a tomb? Kind of creepy, right? But that's not even the strangest secret this bayou holds. To see something even stranger and literally darker, we're headed underground into the Buffalo Bayou Cistern. And this is Stephanie, its keeper with the Buffalo Bayou Partnership. Oh, wow. Does anyone expect something like this to be under the streets of Houston?
They really don't. It's definitely a little hidden gem.
This is wild.
So this stored Houston drinking water.
Really?
So this was built partially underground. When it was filled to capacity at its peak, it stored 15 million gallons of drinking water.
That's amazing.
It was built in 1926 here in Houston. So about that time, the city was going through about 20 million gallons a day. So it was almost a full day of water storage for the city.
For the whole city?
A giant underground water tower is what this guy is.
There are only 5 tourable cisterns in the world, and only 1 in North America, this one. And the greatest part is that it was almost completely forgotten about until just a few years ago. And while today it no longer holds drinking water, well, it still has a few inches of water in its base to do this.
So you can see I'm sending the light down to the other side, and right here
Wow!
is a full reflection of the columns below.
Whoa! It looks like there's a whole nother floor down there. And light isn't the only thing that reflects well in here. All right, guys, 3, 2, 1, yeehaw. Y'all ready?
Okay, yeah.
3, 2, 1, yeehaw! Ooh, I got chills because it's not like goes out and then it comes back to you. It just goes out and then turns into this kind of ethereal moan.
Yeah, it has a really wonderful sound quality in here.
Sometimes it's amazing what exists right below our noses, or in this case, literally right below our feet. You know, and it kind of has my brain wondering, if this was here and no one knew about it, what else is still down here? It's enough to get your thoughts to thinking for sure. I mean, who's to say there aren't entire species of subterranean people down here? Man, this place is really cool, but you know, I gotta be honest, it's a little creepy. And I kind of felt like somebody was watching me this whole time. Oh well. From the tunnels to the cistern, I think we've spent enough time underground for today. But there is one last Bayou secret to see. Okay, so the entire Buffalo Bayou corridor through downtown is full of outdoor art and hike and bike trails. But here's a little piece of artwork that very few people know about because, well, it just looks like a red button. And as a kid, I was told not to push buttons if I didn't know what they did, but trust me, you can push this one. It's called the Big Bubble. Daniel, you might want to run down there and check it out. All right, just stand in the middle of the bridge.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
I'll push the button. All right, watch this. The bayou actually burps. Wait, I mean bubbles. Ready? Oh. What? We got a bubble. Did it work?
That was crazy.
All right, look, I gotta come see the bubble. Hey, Kelly, will you push it? Yeah. I'm gonna go down there. We're go for bubbleage. That's so weird.
It's so simple but amusing.
I know. Man, some Houstonians think of some crazy stuff, don't they? I think it's the humidity. Kayakers beware. You don't want to be unexpectedly bubbled. All right, guys, I don't know about y'all, but I am hungry. And we're gonna go tripping into a part of Houston that far too few people have explored. And there's really no good reason for that because this area has great culture, great history, and definitely great food. My friends, we are headed to the Fifth Ward. Often seen as the wrong side of Houston's proverbial tracks, the Fifth Ward and tourism are rarely used in the same sentence. But for those looking for an authentic experience, well, this area is prime for tripping, holding some of Houston's richest and deepest African-American roots and traditions. And one of those that truly transcends race is our lunchtime destination, the Nickel Sandwich Grill, known locally as just the Nickel. And while this place may be small, the menu is big, as owner Craig Presley serves his unique spread of good eating grub.
It's kind of like a mixture of a lot of restaurants. When I first had the idea, we started off selling sandwiches. And so my wife said, "You crazy, you're not gonna be able to sell all these different foods." I said, "I can do it because the place is so small." So now I've got the barbecue going, I got the boudin, the seafood. So you don't have to leave and say, I want seafood today. I got it. I want barbecue today. Don't leave, I got barbecue, you know.
So you can be all things to all people,
Yeah,
sometimes.
There you are.
Craig can smoke some fine Q, but with a menu so big, I think I'm gonna let him cook me one of his specialties.
I was gonna make you a fish and shrimp.
Oh, I won't pass up a fish and shrimp platter.
And I'll throw the boudin as a side order.
That sounds like, yeah, you got me salivating over here.
Okay. We take our cornmeal because we got it already seasoned, and we take the catfish and make sure it's good and moist. We put a little seasoning on it, and we kind of just flip it over, kind of get to know it a little bit.
Ooh, you're almost like tenderizing that catfish too.
Yeah, we're gonna make it where it looks real pretty, and you'll want to come back.
Add to it some shrimp, and I'm ready to eat. I've asked Houston Councilman Jerry Davis to join me. He represents the Fifth Ward and might just be one of the Nickel's most loyal customers.
I was on the campaign probably back in 2011. I used to stop here like every day. Every day.
That's not an exaggeration.
No, every day. All trails landed back to here,
Is that how it is in the Fifth Ward? All roads lead to the Nickel?
to the Nickel.
And well, here, dig in. Oh man, that is good. It starts off as just raw products and it gets turned into things like greens.
Greens, that's perfected by now.
Oh, that is perfect. Perfect. So you mentioned I'm going to the Fifth Ward, and a lot of people in Houston go, "Ooh, why are you going over there?" I
right.
feel like those are just fictitious walls that we kind of need to break down.
Most definitely, I grew up here.
Yeah.
So I'm a product of Fifth Ward. I'm the ambassador, the representative to let everyone know, hey, we're open for business just like everyone else.
So what is it now that makes the Fifth Ward so enticing for people to just come in here on, let's say, day trips?
One is the mystique. Oh, can we go over there? Yes, you can. You find out, hey, it's just like everywhere else. But the people here are so loving and open, and you can take that away with you, and you become an ambassador to this area. And so we try to knock down those myths.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we do that one plate of fried fish and shrimp at a time.
That's right.
This just goes to show that perception is not always reality, especially in big cities.
We now interrupt this programming to remind you to like and subscribe. Now back to the road.
But now we're gonna jump to another unexplored neighborhood to visit a spot that's changing both perceptions and reality, not with fried shrimp, but with art, as we head into the Third Ward and visit Project Row houses. This is director Eureka Gilkey.
What we're walking past here is 22 shotgun-style row houses. And what the city saw as blight, crime, poverty, the artists saw as an opportunity to showcase their work.
But now they house some of the most unique art in Houston, as 3 times a year, each one is turned into its own exhibit, as artists are given full access to do what they do best, create.
They're usually thematic, and they address an issue that's happening in the neighborhood. You have to think about art as a tool. It's not just a picture or painting on the wall or sculpture. Art has served as a tool and a foundation to really revitalize, protect, and preserve this community.
Wow, I love that. And so Project Row is becoming one of the best art blocks in Houston that too few know about. Today, they're transitioning to their next round of installations. But while we're south of town, well, let's transition ourselves to another part of Houston's crazy art scene. I give you the Orange Show. It's a folk art installation consisting of all kinds of weird, wonderful, and wacky, built by one man, retired postal worker Jeff McKissick. Now, I mentioned art can have a purpose, and this one definitely does. To tell us more, here's local artist and Orange Show marketing director Jonathan Beetler. So was this built as just a art installation, a playground, a concert venue?
He wanted to create an environment you could go to that he was able to promote his love of his favorite fruit, which was the orange.
And not only did he love oranges, but also educating the public about all things orange.
Nutrition, the different chemicals that go through your body when you eat things like oranges. And so he created what we're in right now.
And there's no shortage of orange-inspired art around here. Though Mr. McKissick died shortly after opening this place, the Orange House Foundation continues to keep the randomness alive. And orange you glad they do. There's really nothing else like this in the country, is there?
It's true. It's one of the preeminent folk art environments in the country, if not the world, and we're lucky to have it here in Houston.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he must have just been a very good, welder and mason.
He went to school for engineering, but he had no formal training as far as design or architecture or building, and so he built it all by himself.
Sure, maybe a lot of this stuff is completely random, but hey, that's what's so great about folk art. It requires no formal training and is always more about expression and creativity than making sense. Every single nook and cranny of this place has something in it to look at. Go orange. Be strong. Love me orange. Is that kind of like love you blue? Why does this man have a hook for a hand standing next to a clown promoting oranges? I don't know. Why is any of this here in the first place? We've got the pond with a boat that doesn't float, stadium seating on tractor tires. I'm not sure I completely get it, but I know I like it. Bizarre as it may be, it's a place you've got to see for yourself. I tell you, the stuff you see in the Houston Museum of Fine Arts is great, but I don't think it holds a candle to the folk art of Houston. You know, the homegrown, crazy, out-of-the-box artwork that this Bayou city is capable of creating. It's a beautiful thing. The influence of Mr. McKissick's orange-loving legacy can be found throughout the Houston art scene. And one of those places is Smither Park next door, a wild, ever-evolving mashup of mosaics. Look at this. It's a concert stage inside of a giant anglerfish. You know, I may have no formal training as an artist, but I know when I'm inspired. And it's happening now. So what'd you guys think? Can someone peel this? I can't peel this in this suit. You know, my art may still be a little ahead of its time. Oh well. What dancing definitely did is work up my appetite. And so for dinner, we're headed to the other side of town, but it might as well be the other side of the world. Man, so Houston is one of, if not the most culturally diverse city in the country. And so you get these great little pockets of ethnic neighborhoods. Like this one is called the Mahatma Gandhi district. A lot of people call it Little India. But basically every shopping center is full of Indian grocery stores, Indian restaurants, and Indian shops. And now we're out of it. It's a very small. They call it little for a reason. You know, we don't get many chances to eat authentic Indian food while tripping, but that's exactly what we're about to do at Himalaya Restaurant. As you can tell from the accolades on the wall, this is one of the most well-respected Indian restaurants in town, and it's right at home in Little India. Here's owner Chef Kaiser to help explain the draw of this district.
It's all Indian shops all on both sides of the street.
And this is food that you can't really find outside of this district, right?
You can't find anywhere else.
And so people come here from all over the world for a taste of Indian and Pakistani food. Now, I know many folks out there probably unfamiliar with this sort of an experience. And my advice, well, get ready for big flavor in Little India.
My flavors have to be very bold and pronounced. Either it has flavor or it has no flavor.
So subtle flavor means no flavor,
No
really.
flavor. It has to be bold, it has to be pronounced. You have to smell it, you have to taste it. It has to be different and unique.
Chef has brought out a few Indian staples to the table to get things going. So tell me, what do we have right here?
You have samosas, which is basically a pastry shell with potatoes which have been spiced up with chilies, and it's served with a tamarind sauce and a yogurt sauce.
Talk about flavorful. Oh my goodness, this is exploding. And the crust. There's magic in the crust, right?
Yeah. We take great pains to make the crust. You'll see some of them are uneven, some of them are big, some of them are small. Yeah. That's a big sign saying that this is made in-house.
Yeah, like it's got character,
And then you
right?
have mango lassi. Well, the mango lassi is made with mango pulp, fresh homemade yogurt, milk. It's whipped into this smoothie kind of texture.
Ooh. Yeah, that's like a dessert milkshake almost.
Yes.
That's delicious. Chef named his restaurant Himalaya because those mountains are the highest on earth, and this is the height of cooking. And his secret?
There are no shortcuts in cooking. The only shortcuts are when you take a freeway or you take the by lanes. Indian food especially is a labor of love.
And now it's time for me to love my dinner. And it looks like Chef Kaiser is bringing out the entire menu. All right, so I'm learning a little bit about Indian hospitality, right? You just keep bringing out piles and piles of food. Here we go. 3 of the signature dishes right here. The biryani, tandoori chicken, classic Indian dish, and then back here, some of the house green curry, along with, oh yeah, I could just fill up on this stuff. Biryani, let's go. That was a 2-shot punch to the face, so like a little burn, and then it went up with the second burn. You know, it's like beef stew smothered in like a really spicy ranchero sauce. I mean, there's nothing really that tastes quite like this. It just almost looks too pretty to eat right there, but I'm gonna do it anyway. There's like crazy flavorful chicken. It's tender, not super high on the spice scale. Now this one, he said, is also one of their most popular, green chicken curry. Oh yeah. Imagine the most flavorful verde chicken enchiladas you've ever had, cranked up to 11. That's what these taste like right here. There's no way you could ever describe any of this food as bland. I mean, this is punch you in the face, drop kick you to the ground, and then roundhouse kick you while you're laying there. You know what I need? A little more of this right there. I think I need a little bit more of this right there. I may be stuffing myself silly, but I think there's room in there yet. After all, Little India is bigger than any one restaurant. So we're headed down the street to Raja Sweets. This sweet shop has been serving up homemade Indian treats longer than Little India has even existed. And with a little help, I'm putting together an entire platter to make for a sweet ending to this day. Oh, a light snack. Check it out. What a day. A big city like Houston is hard to miss, but if you're not looking close, you'll miss some of its biggest, most hidden adventures. From mysterious hideaways to even more mysterious art, and from locally flavored history to internationally flavored cuisine. Houston is a city of many sides, making countless places for adventures to hide. Now let's see if there's any more space hiding in this stomach. You know, it is amazing that a simple day around Houston can actually be a trip around the world. Well, I'll see all y'all out on the road. Vaya con Dios, amigos. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. This area has great culture, great railroad tracks. Oh, you know, the Indian classic Sonic. They do the chicken tikka masala burger and the tikka masala cheese sticks. What we got here? We got a little black pepper, paprika cayenne.
I'm hearing somebody in my ear, but I don't know if that's static or what.
Hey.
You're on that show.
Nope, no, I'm not.
No.
This guy won't stop following me around.
Day tripper.
No.
Oh.
I've never seen it.
You look just like him.
Oh, no,
Like
I hate
spitting
that
image.
guy. No, I don't look like him. If you say it one more time, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Day tripper.
Ah!
Howdy, y'all. Follow along with my adventures at Chet Tripper on Instagram and at The Day Tripper TV on Facebook and YouTube. Or head to thedaytripper.com for travel guides, past episodes, and info on our mobile app and Team Day Tripper.
This episode was made for y'all with the help of our awesome partners. Check the caption for more info. Howdy, y'all. Chet the Day Tripper here. Thanks so much for tripping with us. Remember, while you're here, like this video, subscribe to our channel so that we can stay out there on the road and keep on tripping. Did we miss anything in this town? Leave us a comment, let us know. We love finding out about new stops with all of your tips. And if you love Epic Texas Day Trips, remember to check our channel. We got a lot of them on there. Also, don't forget, if you want some sweet Day Tripper merch or another cool Texas-made product, come see us in Georgetown at the Day Tripper World Headquarters. You can also shop online if you check the link down there in the caption. All right, y'all. Bye con Dios, amigos.